I'm Gabi Affair. Well, it's the Asian Tour friendlies. The Black Stars set to take on South Korea and Japan November 14 and November 18. It's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers preparing for that competition set to be hosted in the USA, Canada, and then Mexico. Yes, and so, from yesterday we have people asking, where is the squad? Who is going to start against Japan, South Korea? Who is going to start? People are asking several questions. And then today we were just sitting somewhere minding our business, Then we saw the squad, a 22-man squad by Black Stars head coach Otto Ado. A few absentees, very key names who are not in that squad. We'll be breaking down that 22-man squad and what it means for Coach Otto Ado heading into those two games. Would he miss the absence of Thomas Partey, Alexander Jiku, Mohamed Kudus, Fatah Isaku? Yes, these are, players who've played in the Black Stars. If you want to look at the World Cup qualifiers, and maybe if you want to extend it to the AFCON qualifiers, and maybe extend it a bit further to the 2025 Unity Cup, the core of that Black Star squad is not in that recent 22-man squad. And so we are asking a lot of questions. We're looking at if the players who have been called up into the 22-man squad can actually step in. I've got Adam Kelvin Kai with me and also Manuel Angelo Kwache. But what I'll do is that I'll run you through the 22-man squad, right? And I'll share a few concerns. Then I'll just hand over the dice to the two guys to also put out their thoughts there. So if you're busy and you've not seen the squad, you can actually head to our Twitter handle, Citi Sports GHA. We have the 22-man squad there for you. For the goalkeepers, of course, you have Benjamin Asari, who is starting. He was in post for Accra Hearts of Oak in the Super Clash when Hearts of Oak lost by 1-0. He had to leave to join his teammate after that game. There is Joseph Annan, who plays for St. Patrick's Athletic. There's Lawrence Atizigi, who plays for St. Gallen. The defenders, we've got Derek Horn, Jerome Opoku, Jonas Ajete, Caleb Jirinshi, Gideon Mensah, Mohamed Salisu, Ebenezer Annan. There's Kojo Opon Pepra and Ali Dusiedu. For the midfielders, we have Abu Francis in that squad, Prince Owusu, Christopher Bonsuba, there's Kwesi Sibo, and Kamaldeen Sulemana. The forwards, we've got Kelvin Nkrumah, who plays for Mediama Sporting Club, Prince Osei Wusu, there is Prince Edu Kwabna, and then Brandon Thomas Asante plays for Coventry City. He's on top form under manager Frank Lampard, not Thomas Frank. And there's Antoine Semenyo, who missed a penalty in that last game for Bournemouth in the English Premier League. So that's your 22-man squad. The squad has there's got 3 local players in that squad. But before I run you through the local players, the key stars missing out of the 22-man squad is Jordan Ayew is missing. Mohamed Kudus is also out. Thomas Partey is out. Alexander Jiku out. Iñaki Williams, who plays for Athletic Bilbao, is also out. He's missed Atletic's few games in the Spanish La Liga because of an injury he picked up. Joseph Painso is also not in that squad. Abdul Fattah Isaku actually played in the last game, but he's not been too fit for Leicester City. And even if you paid particular attention to the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Comoros, the last home game he did not play. And so you would understand. In fact, the news is that Leicester's medical team were in constant discussion with the Ghana Football Association to keep the player out of that game against Comoros. Because I remember when Fatal got that ACL at the same stadium, at the Accra Sports Stadium. That's another topic to discuss because the pitch was not too good. Okay. The local base players, we've got Benjamin Asari, of course. He plays for Hearts of Oak. Prince Owusu and Kelvin Nkrumah are 2 players who play for Mediama Sporting Club. Prince Owusu played in that. I think he came on against Comoros. He played about 15 minutes. Kelvin Nkrumah was also part of the U20 players who was supposed to go for the U20 AFCON. He was dropped, but he's in the squad for the 22-man squad named by Coach Otto Ado. For the debut collapse, yes, Kelvin Nkrumah is in there. And then there's Prince Osei Wusu. And then there's Prince Edukobna. Don't get confused. So we've got 3 Prince in the team, right, in there. Now,
2 Prince Owusu as well.
Yes, 2 Prince Owusu in the squad. Guys, just a few concerns though I have. So this is, for the uninitiated, it's the Asian Tour friendlies, right? We are taking on Japan and then South Korea. I'll take you back to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar where we played South Korea and we beat them by 3-2. Mohamed Kudus, I believe, got a brace in that game. The last time we played Japan, we lost by 4 goals.
4-1. Yeah.
4-1, right?
Kirin Cup.
It was Jordan Ayew who scored in that goal.
I think he got it to 1-1 and then the game went down.
Yeah. So there's 2 friendlies. I mean, Japan and South Korea. It's more like preparatory games for Otto Ado. We are taking advantage of the international FIFA window. And if you want to even juxtapose it to the African countries who have qualified for the AFCON, they'll be playing countries, AFCON-bound teams, to prepare themselves. Because we did not qualify, we've taken that advantage to play against countries that have qualified for the World Cup. Yeah, we are the big boys, you understand? Yeah. We missed out on the AFCON, but we are the World Cup. Everything come. This is my...
The AFCON is still the pain.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. You watch it on TV. This is what I have to say, though. I don't like the fact that we are going to play 2 games against Japan and South Korea and we don't have our key stars in that squad. I'm saying so because I thought, given Otto Ado's performance in the World Cup qualifiers, all right, or maybe in the AFCON qualifiers, the narrative was that, Otto was facing countries below Ghana in terms of the FIFA ranking. So Chad, Madagascar, Comoros, maybe the AFCON, Sudan, Niger, and who again, Angola. He gets an opportunity to face maybe an A-listed team or a B-listed team.
Japan is a team that's comparable to teams that he'll be facing.
Exactly. Japan is highly rated. When you look at the FIFA rankings, I think they're in the top 20. In fact, the World Cup qualifiers in their continents, they won the entire qualifiers unblemished. They scored everybody and qualified. In fact, they were one of the first countries.
I think they were the first country to qualify.
Everybody took it 20 minutes.
So I'm thinking that without the services of these key players for Otto Ado, where is continuity? Because these are the sort of opponents we'll be facing at the World Cup proper. We are not going to be starting. This is not to denigrate or to disrespect, right? The players that we've called. We are not going to start maybe a Prince Owusu or a Kelvin Nkrumah against an Argentina. That's if the draw is being done on December 5. And we get to face Argentina, Bolivia. I've always prayed for that, though.
Bolivia.
That we face Argentina. I just want to see something small.
Those are the world champions, so Gabi. I think we've cool down.
So, Adam, let's look at this. Otto goes into that game and goes to start somebody like Prince Kelvin. Look, it's 2 things that will get to the player. The occasion gets to him. There's no team cohesion. And I'm thinking that these qualifiers or these friendlies against Japan and South Korea would have been a huge opportunity for these players to actually test themselves against the big boys. But you can't fault them. They say that the word from the Ghana Football Association, together with the players' clubs, their respective clubs, say that some of them have picked up injuries and knocks. So then he has to call up.
Would they be injured if he had to win this game to qualify for the World Cup?
Exactly. So then he has to call up or give debut call-ups to some players.
If it was a game that you had to play to win and secure your spot in the World Cup squad, would some of these players be injured?
Let me finish up this one. That's an opportunity for the players to actually show what they are also made of or what they've got up their sleeves, so that Otto looks at his bench and says, okay, I've seen Kelvin Nkrumah against Japan. I think he can offer me more when we go into the World Cup proper. And I'm saying this because if you want to look at the 2025 Unity Cup, out of that tournament we played, we saw Christopher Bonsuba. That's where we got Caleb Urinchi. Yeah. I hope you guys have not forgotten.
Yeah.
He put
in a good shape.
There was this winger. I can't seem to remember his name, but he was very good. I loved his touches and the way he was very direct.
It wasn't Suleiman's brother.
No, it wasn't Suleiman's brother. If you look at that squad that we called up until now, we've seen so many changes. And I thought that if we were going to give chances to other players who were not part of the World Cup qualifiers, it should have been the players we caught from the Unity Cup.
So you feel this squad should have reflected the squad that was presented at the Unity Cup?
Exactly, but Otto now has to deal with this. Okay, let's see what these players can do against Japan and South Korea. That's my only concern.
I'm really keen about the defense area because I feel like for our fullback areas, we don't really have strong replacements for some of the guys that start. So I'm happy to see Cohn in here after the little drama about his nationality switch.
Yeah.
I want to understand everything that has gone on with this call up. I don't want to jump the gun. Why will I say this? I feel like with the starters, the already established starters, Otto kind of knows what he's getting for them when he puts them on the field.
Mm-hmm.
They play at the highest level when it comes to European football. Most of them play for top teams, and week in, week out, they are players that are relied on. So they understand when a call up of that nature comes, and they understand the duty it comes with and the responsibility it comes with.
Yeah.
I feel like they want to see what our pool can offer past those players. And why do I say this? What our pool can offer past those players when some of the guys who are the mainstays are not around. Okay, how do you fare when Jordan isn't in the team to come and bail you out when the game is getting hot?
Okay.
How will you fare when Partey isn't there to come and bail you out when the team is getting hot? I think they just want to see how strong these guys are against teams in that half, because that's the only way I can reason it.
Okay.
Because I would have loved to see at least half of the core in here in addition with the new guys, so that we see how the blend goes on and like more cohesion is built. But I'll just reason it in a way that they want to see how these guys can test themselves against these guys without any help. Like, okay, let's put you guys together for a while and see what you can do when you're put against some of the very best in the world at the moment. If you can stand your ground, then when we need you to come into the team, you can even maybe start ahead of some of the guys we regard as starters. That's the way I want to see it. And me, I'm looking at the defense in particular because I feel like that's an area that can worry us during the World Cup. I think the way our forward and our midfield was playing, getting to the latter parts of the World Cup qualifiers, it was quite satisfactory. I don't have too much I want to change. I like the addition of Sibo. I think he brought a little bit more steel to the midfield.
But the Sibo guy, he's not played a lot of games for Real Oviedo, you know.
Yeah, but I like
how we called him to the Black
But
Stars.
I like what I saw when he played for the Black Stars.
Okay.
The little bits of what I saw, I think if he's given a bit more continuity, we can see more. I would love to see him play more minutes there, though. But then sometimes some of these things happen. You just have to understand some of the situations, because like we need some of the players to go there because.
And this time around is a proper pitch.
Yeah, it's a. Gabi, don't do that.
No, I had to let our viewers know.
So that's just how.
There's no excuse for the pitch. The playing surface is looking.
But I mean, with all the work the NSC is doing on the Accra Sports Stadium, you could argue that they are already used to.
I'm not saying that the Accra Sports Stadium pitch was bad.
I'm comparing it that they are used to good pitches already, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, so this should be a walk in the park for them if they play on a pitch like that. I just want to reason it that that's how they want the squad to fare. They want to see how the squad will fare against the very best. But I think there are a few of the guys who usually start around, so it can kind of supplement that. But I think some of the players they've called are in great form for their clubs. I'm really happy about the inclusion of Brandon. I think he's a player who should have earned the call-up even with the last squad, because I think the Black Stars needs another dimension to like our striker, and I think he's quite a strong striker.
Yeah.
He offers power most Ghanaian forwards who are usually called up into the team don't offer. And I like what I've seen when he's played for Coventry. So I'm really happy he's in this team. I just want to see how they fare because, as you said, Japan are not a joke team. Like, so if these guys can play these two games and look great, I think it will mean a good thing for the team. It will mean that the team has more depth, more quality to call upon when needed, especially at the tournaments like the World Cup. Because the World Cup, it's not now that like you are 2-0 down, you are wondering whether this guy is talented enough or good enough to come and offer something to the team. You want to see somebody who you've seen something from that can come, and you know that he's not just coming into the game and you are hoping that he will affect the game. He's coming into the game and you know that he can actually bring some impact into the game. So I think that's what they want to see with this squad. That's how I'll just understand it. Because I think a lot of Ghanaians would have loved continuity. Everybody would have loved to see at least a huge chunk, then a bit of the, like, I would have loved to see maybe the core of what's played in the World Cup qualifiers. There may be a Corn in there, a Brandon in there. Yeah, a little sprinkle of quality in there for us to see how they can balance things out when we need them to. But the sudden shift, I'll just understand that they want to see how these guys can test themselves against the best.
I mean, I think that's fair, but my worry is the same thing Gabi said. I worry that the players who are coming into the squad now, it feels like the main squad was given the day off, and then the people who are not even in the starting 11 were also given a day off. So someone like Kamaldeen, people like Joseph Pencil, they were not even yet in the Black Star squad. But because they are not being included in this squad, it's almost, they would assume automatically that they assume that their position is safe, that they're just being given a rest off. Obviously, that can be countered to the case. If someone goes here and performs really well, it can change the narrative within the squad. But I just worry that these players, even as good as they perform, I don't think they have long enough. And first is about the games they are going to play against two teams who are calling up their best squads. I've gone through the squad list for Japan and for South Korea. So South Korea, I think they've called Kim Min-jae from Bayern Munich. They've called Son Heung-min from. Also, it points out that they gave their squad almost about a week ago.
Yeah.
I think South Korea was about a week ago. Japan was about 5 days ago.
It was in their the Japanese squad was in their language, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but fortunately,
were you able to identify any players?
No, I mean, it was translated. When it was translated, I started spotting the ones I knew. But that's what they've called up quality players for both squad. I think Japan are coming off a run with. They beat Brazil in their last round of friendlies.
In fact, they were losing to Brazil. It was 2-0. I think Brazil took a 2-goal lead, and then the Japanese equalized.
Yeah, and I think that would have been Ancelotti's first loss. So just to point out that even though they have qualified, they are still taking this quite seriously. Just based on the team that they've chosen, based on the squad of players that they've selected, and based on the way they are speaking. I also saw the Japan, I think it's the FA president speaking that their goal is to reach the World Cup final in 2026.
Yeah,
Japan. And
really,
yes, Japan.
They've not been to. When I checked, they've not been to the quarters since 1998.
No,
in fact, from 1998, that's when they started competing in the World Cup. Their best has been round of 16. It's always a group stage as it's round of 16.
South Korea, I think they go to the quarterfinal
in the tournament
in 2002.
And that was I found that very shocking because I didn't know why I was shocked to see that Japan have not reached the quarters or the semis of the World Cup before.
There's been a slightly Euro South American dominated field, like the latter stages of the World Cup. And I think other countries are also now realizing that, I don't think it's just Morocco, but I think other countries are now realizing that once you get out to the group stage, obviously now it's a bit more complicated because you're going from the group stage to the round of 32, not directly to the round of 16. But once you get out to the group stage, it's just about 2-3 knockout games, if you're strong enough, before you realize you're in the latter stages of the tournament competing. But just to go back to the Ghana squad, my worry now is that the players who are coming in are not at the level where they will be competing with the players who are not even getting into the main starting lineup. And I feel like based on the games, based on the quality of opposition, and based on the fact that it's only 2 proper games before in the international break, I don't know if they have enough of an opportunity to show themselves or show their talent.
Would there be any international break again? I don't think so, because December is a really busy.
There should be one at the end of the season before the World Cup. I mean, obviously that's just them getting together
before the World Cup.
Shouldn't there be one in March? I think there's one in March.
I think every football league would have.
No, that's what I'm saying. that doesn't count as.
And before the World Cup, would there be enough time to?
That's the point I'm making. I don't think there's enough time between now and then. So even putting them in now, it's almost like unless you see someone who's exceptional, and as soon as you see him, you see something that's missing from the Ghana squad. What you're doing is put a lot of untested players, and just like the Unity squad, on giving them a platform, giving them very short, limited amount of time to prove that they can be in the squad. And once you're not able to take the opportunity, you just go with what you have. Whereas in contrast, you could have taken your youth squad and used them in a way where you test out things. Obviously, if you had used a squad and things are not worked out, people would have said, oh, you lost and you actually lost. If you go and lose now, you can say, the players were not good. They don't have the right selection. When you have the right players, it'll be better. But now that he's chosen this squad, I feel like there's there's nothing to lose, but at the same time, too, there's no upside for it. Does that make sense? So it's slightly confusing, but obviously he's a coach and he knows what he's looking for. I think most people thought that the squad was taking a long time because Hudson Odoi was in it, or there were various a little more stardust than we see in the squad,
He's a stardust.
Okay.
which is slightly disappointing. But it's still a good enough squad to compete against Japan and South Korea.
and South Korea, a good enough squad.
In a friendly, in a friendly.
It's a friendly.
In a friendly, I'll go with the good enough. But with the kind of squads that they are putting forward, I it's hard to see how much we can match up in terms of the level when we do play against them. That's just it for me.
When we lost to Japan the last time we played, it was the same head coach we had, Otto Ado, right? This is what I want to say, that I expect that, and I think I've made this submission of mine everywhere, every platform I've been on. I mean, people who said that we should sack him. Now, from now to whenever the World Cup kicks in and then the draw is being done, December 5, and we know who we are playing, and the World Cup starts in June, July. I've always said that. You see, and Otto is a blessed coach. I say so because if you look at
oil on my head.
if you look at the countries he faced, right, or he would be facing, he's actually faced them before. And this is to take out the ones who'll be facing in the World Cup. He's played Japan before. He's played South Korea before. He was at the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, he's unbeaten against South Korea.
Exactly. So if he goes to the World Cup and he goes to maybe the draw is being done and we get maybe another Asian team, not in the mode of Japan or South Korea, that is a bit lesser than Japan or South Korea, I expect him to do better. It's non-negotiable. And I've said that, like he said, the World Cup is an expanded tournament. It's a 48
48 teams,
team tournament. Now there is actually an opportunity for countries who finish third in their group to actually progress based on what you do. Maybe the goals you've scored or the goals you've conceded, or maybe the head. I don't know what that would be. The Black Stars must qualify out of the group stage and go to the round of 32. It would still be the group stage for me.
Same.
Because, like you said, it's now way more difficult because now you have to deal with round of 32 and the round of 16. Then now you can think about the quarterfinals, because the last World Cup we exited at the group stage, and our best performances at the World Cup have come at the 2010 World Cup when we got to the quarterfinals. So now Otto must make sure that he guides this team
past the group stage.
Yes, and even when he guides them past the group stage, he's still in the group stage. If I'm making sense, because it's the round of 32.
It's now the round of 32.
So now he has to get to the round of 16, and that's the target for him.
I don't think the round of 16 can be the target for a country like Ghana that has been to the quarterfinal.
It cannot be.
But it's an expanded tournament.
Yes,
that's
I understand.
Point,
It cannot be, but it's because of the standard we are used to. In the, maybe if you want to look at the AFCON or even our performances at the World Cup. I mean, ever since from 2010, if you combine the AFCON and the World Cup, we started struggling at the AFCON in 2019 when we exited at the round of 16. It was a penalty shootout loss to Tunisia, I believe, or Tunisia scored as 1-0 or so. But I know that it was Tunisia that kicked us out. In 2021, we struggled. They kicked us out at the group stage. 2023, same. The World Cup, we missed out in 2018. We were there in 2022.
Group stage
exit. So because of that performances we've put up from maybe in the last 8 years, the standards have dropped.
Yes. The standards have dropped. Yeah.
You get it. So round of 16.
So
I
since the I think 2015 we were in the final.
Yeah.
What have we done since then in terms of?
That's the point I'm making.
And then that's what I'm saying. So we have to go as far back
so
as
I think 2017 we got to the semis. 20.
Yeah, I think at least 2017 must have been.
Yes.
Yeah, 2017. Yeah.
So Otto must try and make sure that this team gets out of the group stage, round of 32. Then when we come back, we can now look at him and say, okay, young man, I don't think you're good enough. Because I think that after the World Cup, he has one more year left on his contract.
So you probably take the team for another qualifying cycle.
Yes, AFCON qualification series for the 2027 AFCON, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. And dependent on what he does at the World Cup, right? Then we look at him and say that, I think there's been progress. He can take us to the AFCON, the 2027 AFCON qualification series, qualifies us to the AFCON, contract ends, and what he does there again, then we can activate. There's a clause in there. I think 1 more year for him to stay on for a 4th year. then we can say, okay, we are doing an Aliou Cisse, or we are seeing an Aliou Cisse in Otto Ado in our version. Because for Senegal, they had to do 7 years with Aliou Cisse, and he gave them an AFCON trophy.
No, but I mean, he had been to a final. Did he not lose a final?
Yes,
already?
he went to. Yes, I think he went to a final before they won it. So that's my word on Otto. To be honest,
I mean, the thing about the Ghana squad is I feel like at the end of the day, the question always comes down to Otto Ado, and what he can do with the squad. Again, based on some of the things Ketokeko has been saying recently, just about this being his team, you'd like to know how much influence Otto Ado himself had in these selections. I would argue that if he had had a stronger personality, I think he'd have been able to get some of these players who are just in Europe's top 5, like the top players. I think you'd have been able to get them.
Again? Ketogru said that we didn't have Messi and Ronaldo in our team. That's why
we don't have Messi and Ronaldo, but we have have certain players.
No, but he said it.
But my point is, like, if these are really your best players, unless he's simulating a World Cup where he doesn't have his best players, what's the benefit of using our last test before a World Cup without your actual players? And that's what I'm saying. It all depends on whether it's his call, whether as the coach he was the one who went out to make these calls in the best interest of the Ghana team.
Mm-hmm. We are speaking on the assumption that they won't prepare maybe some fixtures just before the World Cup. Maybe they have some of those plans up their sleeve.
Who are you going to play at that time? It's not about if you are available. That's fine. Everyone else has either been to an AFCON or is preparing for a World Cup.
So maybe they might try to
unless you go and get some Brighton under 21s or like
really.
No, you can find a game to play. But that's my point. If it's just about getting the reps in, if it's just about getting the exposure with the team, but I just worry that there's not a lot we can learn from these.
The AFCON is in December, right?
Yeah, the AFCON is in December.
Already, clubs don't release players for the team. So imagine now going to
January. I think there will be an international break.
Yeah, there will be an international break in January.
Okay. Would there be one in February?
I think there's one in March.
You know, there was an update. You know, there was an update that came from FIFA or CAF that said that they had combined.
The next one will combine the October and November one into one huge one. But that'll be next year, not this year.
So it means that we'll still have an international break in January.
I think there's one in March. Are you sure there's one in January?
Yeah, there's one in March.
I know there's one in March.
I remember one of the AFCON, the World Cup qualifiers. We played one in March.
Yeah, so I know there's one in March. I know there's one in March.
So maybe
we can. But I think there's just one more international window.
Yeah, we can take advantage of that. But the question is, who are we going to play then? Because
everyone else has either been to an AFCON. Some people don't want players to get injured just before a World Cup. There's not a lot we can learn from the game. But like I said, we are going to see how it's friendlies. I think Ghanaians also need to take that into perspective. I think we've also got a little reactionary where once we win, he's not that good. We will sack him later. And once we lose, sack Otto Ado. I think we need to be somewhere a little more in between and actually take the games. And on our own, I think we need to use them as assessment. And look at these players and determine if some of these players are good enough to get into the squad. And if they are on merit, and then we back them. It's not that as soon as the team loses, we say that, Otto Ado chose these players, and he chose these players, and that's why it didn't happen. Or it didn't work out for them.
Okay. Guys, this is what we'll do, right? I think we'll all do our starting 11 against Japan.
With the current squad.
With the current squad. We can't do for South Korea. We'll do for Japan. And then maybe after the Japan game, we can look into the South Korea. So let me start off with mine. Let me start with mine, okay? So my goalkeeper for that clash, and before I get into who will be starting, I just want to give an update on when the games will be played. I mean the time. So Japan will be playing Japan on November 14. The kickoff time is 10 a.m. Ghana time, but 7 p.m. Japan time, okay? And South Korea is on November 18. Kickoff time same as 7 p.m. South Korean time, 10 a.m. Ghana time, not 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Ghana time. For my starting 11, I'm now Coach Otto Ado, so I'll start with, let me try and pull up the squad. I'll start with.
Benjamin Asare. Do you need to think about?
No, I don't need to think
about
it.
The place that I'll struggle the most is probably at the midfield. That's where I don't know what I'll combine.
Okay, so my goalkeeper would be Benjamin Asare. Yeah, so Asare gets to face the Samurai Blues, a top team.
So just on the Japan squad, I just want like the quality in their squad is really good. I think they have.
So just hold on for me. I'll let you run through the Japan squad for me, okay? So Benjamin Asare starts. Yeah. So he starts.
SM for life.
My defenders, right? I think I want to see Derek Athakon.
He's the one I'm really looking forward to seeing.
I really want to see him start at the left back. I want to see something small. Charlie, you see, me, I'm tired of Gideon Mensah, and I feel like Gideon Mensah hasn't had any competition, like proper left back competition.
The little I saw seen of Derek, is
you think he can display?
I think if he's given enough runs in the team, sometimes it's not about how good you are. It's about if you are given enough opportunity in the team. If he's given enough runs, I think he can eventually displace him. So that you see, I mentioned earlier on that I'm excited about the defense because I want to see like the options, because especially our fullback areas, there have been a lot of complaints that our fullbacks can do better than that.
Okay. So Derek Athakon makes his debut for the Black Stars against the Samurai Blue. My right back, of course, Caleb Urinchi starts for me. Even though he's not a right back, and even though I dislike where we are playing him, because I think he offers more when he's being played in the middle.
Yeah.
When you watch him on Norwich Island, he's a super different player.
Yeah, I was making that
like
point.
He can actually be a proper box-to-box crusher.
I think he could play with
because he's got energy.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got energy and all the ability to actually do what he's doing at right back in midfield. But I mean, I know that Otto will start him, and I'll start him there, Caleb Urinchi. So, centre back Jerome Opoku. Jerome Opoku is right-footed, right?
Yeah.
Is he right-footed? I think he's left-footed. I'm not too sure. If he's left-footed, I can't pair him with Mohamed Salisu. So clearly, there is an imbalance in a centre back. So
I mean, but you can play two right-footed centre backs. Why does it get more strange when it's left-footed?
Left-footed.
He's left-footed.
He's left-footed.
Yeah, he's left-footed.
You know, but that's what the point I'm making is you see more common that they play two right-footed centre backs.
Yeah,
so why does it feel very
different? It kind of limits your passing angles.
Exactly.
But it just reverses the passing angle if you're right-footed.
And you see, then the thing with left-footed.
It's just that people are not used to people making a run based on the angle of the pass that.
And then the whole thing that they can actually be rigid when you have like a right-footed attacker coming at you and is trying to do.
And the thing is, if you notice, I'm a lefty myself, so left-footed players are usually very left-footed.
That's the point I want to make.
I'm very good left-footed. Like
I'll do Mohamed Salisu and Kojo Pipra.
Yeah, okay, he's been good too.
Kojo Pipra is a very solid centre back. So Salisu, Kojo Pipra for me. Midfielders. I'll do Abu Francis, Kwesi Sibo. 2 DMs, but I would want to see Sibo in a more slightly advanced role. Okay, and I'll do 10 with Christopher Bonsuba as a 10. Yeah. My forwards. So I'm doing a 4-3-3. I'll do Anton Semenyo playing on the left. Brandon Thomas Asante leading the attack. And then Prince Edu Kobna, the Victoria players and guy.
So Kamadi has no place in your team.
No, he's too profligate.
I like your midfield a lot.
So that's the starting 11. But I know Otto going to do something else. So it's fine. So that's my starting 11. I'm just hoping that it comes to fruition or it comes to pass. But yeah. So
I mean, for me,
Pache, you want to do
I think that's a solid team, but I think I'll probably go 4-4-2.
4-4-2.
Probably go Benjamin Asare. Same thing, Derek Cone, Salisu, Alidu Siedu. Even though I think he's back now, he should be playing much for. And then
the Alidu Siedu guy, did you see him against Comoros? Did you see him? Were you happy?
I'm choosing based on reputation and not form. I'm hoping he can. I mean, that is why he's also been selected into this
clearly,
team.
then you have to know that he's offering you nothing up front. Oh no, it's true. It's not me saying. Look, I've watched him
going forward.
Over.
He's not been helping us.
Yeah, and I think you know. I actually think he actually thrives in. He can actually be an option for you as like if you want to play him on the right side of a back three.
As a wing back.
Yes. So no, as part of the centre back.
Or you rather
the right,
you draw him back into
the because I think he's got immense strength. He just wants to do the tidy jobs, clear, no nonsense defender. I mean that's clearly the Alidu you want.
Just keep it tight.
If you want to play him as a right back, he's offering you nothing going forward. He doesn't whip in crosses. He gives him he's in space. You bring the ball back.
He doesn't give the give and goes.
No.
Yeah, I understand you.
So, but I mean, you can.
I mean,
still
I mean, what's a good coach if he doesn't observe and learn from his mistakes? I think I'll go with Derek Cohn. I think I'll go with Yurinchi. Then it means that I'll go with my two left-footed centre backs and have the midfield of my defense to change a bit, but I'll manage it like that. Then I'll go for Abu Francis and Kwesi Sibo within the middle. Then I'll play Kamaldeen and Bonsuba out wide, and then have Antoine Semenyo and Brandon Thomas Asante up front. So it'll be a 4-4-2 formation. I'm not sure if that's what Otto Ado will go for.
A 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Has Otto ever played a 4-4-2 before? Nope. I don't think so. Otto has actually gone with a
he likes back
he's got a
threes
back
and
three,
4-2-3-1s.
Yeah, and maybe sometimes 4-3-3. I've seen him do 4-3-3-1 once, but even that one later he metamorphosed into something else. So Adam,
I'll go with Derek.
I mean, again, your keeper. Who is your keeper? Why does?
Oh no, I think at this point,
you
don't
need to.
At this point, we don't need to speak about who the number one is, because he's been consistent enough when he plays for the national team. So I'll go with Derek, Caleb, Jonas, and Mohamed Salisu. Then I'll maintain Kabi's midfield of Abu Francis and Kwesi Sibo. I'll do something different though. I would like to see Kamaldeen play in front of them as a 10.
Mm-hmm.
I would just want to
Kamaldeen as a 10.
Yeah, I want to see.
Wow.
No, because a lot of people complain about.
He's been better this season.
Yeah, he's been better this season with his final ball. If you watch him at Atalanta,
Okay.
so I want to see how that fares behind Brandon, because Brandon is strong and makes good runs.
Okay.
So if we can get enough balls threaded into him, who knows how it might look like. Then I'll flank him with Semenyo, and it gets difficult here.
Prince Edu Cup now.
Yeah, I'll try Chris.
Yeah. I think
he's been in good form with Victoria
good,
Pilsen.
yeah.
Good, really good form. I'll flank him.
And I think I saw a little bit of Kelvin Nkrumah, the Mediama boy. I think he also looks like a.
Wait, is he the same guy that was in the team that won gold with the under 20?
Yeah.
He's a solid.
He's a solid guy.
Footballer.
Yeah.
But again, my problem is, like I said, I don't know if there's enough time between the time that to show what you can do in terms of the contrast of the players who are available.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but other than that,
so
we hope for the best for the team.
that's the starting 11 from all of us.
The match is at 10:30. I had the one against Japan. 10:30
is it 10:30
a.m. At least in Ghana time. That's what I was.
Oh, okay. Because the
flag
the FA did was 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yes, it's 10 a.m. Ghana time,
Ghana
7 p.m.
time.
Japan
10 a.m.
time.
Ghana
Wow.
time.
Same with the South Korean one too.
So this is what people were experiencing when they were watching the World Cup in 2002.
Yeah. So you have to. So more like you have to wake up early, depending on because. I was a kid at the time, but
Ben said he watched
not kid like that. But
Ben said he watched halftime and went to school.
Yeah, exactly, because you actually had some of the games around 6, some around 7, some around 8.
Yeah,
So depending on what time you have to report to school, you can actually watch
some 45 minutes. That you
guys,
remember.
let's do predictions and then we'll wrap up. We'll back to do this again after the first game against Japan.
I think if there's a game we can win, it's to be the Korea game. The Japan game, I feel like the best we might get is a draw. I think we will get beat in that game.
Yeah, before you do, we'll get beat in that game.
Yeah, I think we'll get beat in the Japan game.
Before you do your prediction, just quickly run out through the call-ups, the team, the players for the Japanese national team.
Oh, I can't go through everyone because
the names are
but notable mentions. Suzuki, the Ghana boy. Let me be respectful. He's born to a Ghanaian descent. Yeah, he's been called up, which means that's definitely not happening for us. They have Maida in terms of defenders. They have Kamada from Crystal Palace. Wataru Endo has been called up. Mitoma is injured, so he doesn't make the squad.
Wow!
But they have Minamino and Takikubo in the team, and it's really stacked. If we are going to have a chance to beat them, I don't think they'll be playing their best team, especially given that we haven't called our best players. In terms of predictions, a narrow 3-2 defeats, which is very sad, and then also wins the second game. But like the Unity Cup, disappointments in the first, then he wins the second. And
but I'll even though I don't think we will beat the Japanese team. I want to see how we perform. I think these games, what Ghanaians should be looking out for is the performance. And throughout Otto's tenure, especially in the World Cup qualifiers, I think progressively the games have gotten a bit better. I want to see a bit more fluidity from the team. I want to see the team like possess the ball better, like play more structured football, creates more quality chances. Like that's really what I'm looking out for. The results are quite irrelevant for me as someone who's analyzing the games in this. I want to see how the team can take a leap forward in terms of how cohesive they are and how they understand what they are going to be doing at the World Cup. Because anything we are going to be seeing in these games, regardless of the fact that the mainstay guys in the team aren't there, should be a preview to how the team will look how the team will look like in the World Cup. So I'm more concerned about how the team will look like collectively, attacking wise, playing through the midfield, and even in defense, how the team looks collectively. That's all I'm looking out for. I want to see like a step up from how we looked from the AFCON qualifiers to the World Cup qualifiers to what we'll probably look at the World Cup. So I just hope they will be able to deliver.
I'm also looking forward to see Otto's in-game management. I want to see Otto do things, so like Japan takes a lead against Ghana.
How do you
then
react?
Otto switches, he responds in a very positive way.
I was actually about to say that's the only thing we can really tell from the game, because in terms of the players are always going to be different, but the one thing that will be there in that squad to the World Cup that I can guarantee is Otto Ado. So he also needs to at least show some
so the in-game management, I want to see that. I don't want to see what he was doing at the World Cup against South Korea when he was doing some changes.
But he masterminded a comeback.
In fact, no, against Portugal when we lost 3-2.
That game is a game we could have won.
That's what I'm saying. For the benefit of hindsight and for what he's done, I expect him to do way more better than what he's done, right? In the subsequent games that we'll be playing. So we can just say that all the best to Coach Otto Ado. I mean, people say that if you can coach, we can also analyze. Yes, so we've done our bit of analyzing the game, and all the best. So we'll try and see if we can actually okay, I won't say that. We'll be back after the Japan to do more talk on the Black Stars right here on the Citi Sports Live on the Citi Sports GHA. Thank you so much, Kelvin Edekai, and also Manuel Angelo Kwache. I am Gabi Ofe with my what's the name? All right, thank you so much. We're back to do this in our next episode when Ghana beats or loses to Japan or South Korea. Part of the build-up to the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. In the meantime, take care of yourself and bye-bye.